Hello class, this is Brother Spalding speaking. I wanted to take just a few minutes and point out a few things that some of you are having problems with. Hopefully you'll be able to work through them without too much difficulty. To start off with, as you can see behind here, I am showing the landing page, or the home page as it's referred to sometimes, and this is where you'll start every time that you log into the class. When you log into the course, this is what's going to be coming up. I wanted to show a few things or give you a few pointers. Those of you that are new to ILearn 3 may be having some difficulties, but please note here that on the landing page you have what we call the navigation bar here. This navigation bar is where you will start in almost every instant, and I just wanted to point this out to you, and I'll click on some of these in just a few minutes to show you where they take you. But the navigation bar then becomes very important to you. In addition to the navigation bar, down here at the bottom, you'll notice here I should say in the lower right part of the screen, you'll see what's called the content browser, and this is another way that you can get around in the course. And so if you click on content, you'll go directly to, and let me show you that right quickly, you'll go directly to the content for the whole course, and it's going to bring up the information here. Either the welcome probably is the first thing that you're going to see, and on the welcome you'll find the syllabus. You'll find how to understand due dates, schedule, policies, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to come back to this in just a few minutes. But what I wanted to point out is once you get into this, if you want to go back now to the landing page from anywhere in the course, all you have to do is to click on this right up here. This is a link, and it'll take you right back to the landing page, and that's a very helpful thing to understand. Now some of you will find it helpful to work through the course content all the time. Others of you will probably find it more useful to go down here and use the content browser. Either way works fine, and just make sure that you are looking at studying the entire lesson each week and going through those things. Now let me go back up here now to our landing page. As many of you, or most of you, have already noticed, I have made two posts. This first post down here at the bottom is the first post that I made, and it gives background information about myself and a little bit about the course. And as you know, you've received an email, or should have received an email from me talking about the course and some of the initial things that you're going to need to be doing. Now let me go back up here now to the navigation bar and point out a couple of things. If you go ahead and click on the over here on my grades, this is where you're going to go to find out what your scores are in your various assignments and quizzes and so on and so forth. And so you can just simply go down here and look at either the grades or look at your class progress, and it's going to be in this class progress section is where you're going to find most of the feedback that I will be giving you. There's a lot of the things in this course that makes it difficult to give good feedback on, but I will do my best to provide some feedback for you. Sometimes it will come by email, sometimes it will come in a general way in the announcements, other times it'll be specific to you, and I'll try to make that to you on the assignments. Now another thing that I wanted to point out here is under course tools, and this one is one that you may want to look at periodically. This will give you a list of the classes, the class list, and then here groups, and this is the one that you're going to need to be able to find your group. And while I'm on this, let me click on this, because this is an area that is quite confusing to most of the students, and I want to try to help you with this. Basically, you come through here on the groups, and I have another recording that I'm going to give you the detail, but you're going to, you'll notice here it says view available groups, and you want to click on that to start with. And when you click on that, that brings up options, and you'll notice here available groups. The very first is a very long list of different countries that you can sign up for. You do not want to do this at this time. I see that there's already 2 or 3 of you that have done this, but this is to be used by a special assignment that comes later in the semester, so you don't need to worry about the clicking on one of the countries at this point in time. You need to scroll all the way down till you get to the Google Hangouts group sign up. Okay, and then you'll notice below here a series of groups. There's 10 of them listed, and we already have group 2 is completely filled, group 4 is full, and others are getting filled up rather quickly. And so what you need to do then is to simply select the group that will fit your schedule, and you will need to click on that group to join the group. And as you click on that and join that particular group, it'll ask you for some information. Just fill in that information, and that's all that you'll need to do to join the group. Now, quite often, in fact, almost every semester, we have a problem because the majority of the class, most of the students, are going to want to get into the time period from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., and that would be the evenings. And those of you that are in the Intermountain area, this, as you'll notice, is already full. And we have another one on Tuesday that's from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., and it only has 2 more slots in it. Now, what I would want you to do, if you cannot work into one of the other groups, please send me an email. Let me know that you have to have that time slot, and I will open up another group. Now, you'll notice group number 3 here does not have anyone in it yet, and so within the next couple of days, if no one uses that group, I will convert that group to the 6 p.m. to the 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. time period, and more of you will be able to get into that group, and that will be group number 3 that up to this point does not have anyone in there. And so I will look for a group like that, and we'll try to set it up so that all of you could get in that needs to get into that 6 to 10 p.m. Time period on either Monday or Tuesday. Please let me know what if you have a very, very tight schedule of when you can work in, what time period you can work into your schedule. And I'd appreciate that very much. You get it squared away. Now, I will have to do some adjusting. For example, there may be 1 or 2 of these other time periods where there's only 1 or 2 students. I may need to redo that, but I will contact you first to see if the schedule will allow you to move to a different time period. But we'll have some adjustments to do on that. Okay, enough said about that. Now, going back now to our landing page, I'll click on that. Then I want to go to content. And in the content, there's a lot of information. These first 3 items over here on the left basically are things that are there that you need to look at all the time. And so, or at any time, I should say, during the semester. And so you may want to review this, make sure you read it, in fact, the first time. And then the course schedule, the course overview, here gives my name and gives my virtual office address. And that I will be sending out more information about that. Usually what happens is when this comes up, when there'll be a different meeting URL that will come up for each of the meetings, and I will post that just a few minutes before the meeting starts, sometimes somewhere within about 30 minutes of the time the meeting starts. Please check the announcements and you'll see a URL, and oftentimes it'll be different than this, and so on, and that's the one that you'll want to use, is the one that I will be posting. This will be available from time to time, and I'll explain more how to use that. Now, giving information about the course, again, you can get to the course syllabus here, or you can get to the course syllabus in several other places, and so that will take you to that. Now, the course schedule is something that you may want to look at periodically to kind of help you see where you're at. It basically goes down through here and gives you information. This very first part will talk about what's going on today, and then what's going to happen tomorrow, and then the next 7 days. And so that's quite useful to help you to keep track of where you're at and what is when it's due. Now, up here under the welcome page, there's explanation of how to understand due dates. And again, you can get to the syllabus from the welcome page, and you can get to this understanding due dates. If you're new to ILearn, please make sure you study that. That's going to help you quite a bit to get around to understand the due dates in each of the lessons. Now, note here further under the welcome page, and we're still here on the welcome page, that you have several important things up here. Notice the symbols. The symbols here. Whenever you see this symbol, this is means that it's external to ILearn, and so this is a link to pull up this set of instructions for the exam proctor, the Proctorio Secure exam proctor, and so you'll get more information from that, and it'll explain that to you. Okay, now down here you'll notice that you have a world image of the world, and that just simply means that's a web page that's part of ILearn 3. When you get this symbol, a link, that means that's going to take you to some other place, another section, and to give you more information or whatever it is that you're looking for. Now, the questions and conversations board, this is a discussion board, and so you'll find then information about that. This will show up in the grade book, it'll show up in other places, and that simply means that it's part of the discussion board. Now, these last two items here, very, very critical. In some instances, this is a way to get into the course. Now, ILearn 3 is the course management system for BYU-I. However, in our course, ECON 151, we are using an external, and that's called Cengage. And the Cengage system is, if you want to think of it this way, is sort of piggybacked on top of our ILearn 3, and this is the one way that you can get into that link. Now, in every lesson, you'll find additional links that will help you to get into the ILearn 3. So you can get into it from the lessons, or you can come out here and get into it here to find the material for the textbook and for the instructions for the homework and other things like that will be contained. And you'll notice this symbol here again. That simply means it's an external learning tool, and so you can simply click on this and it'll take you to that link. Okay, that's enough said about that, and I think there are many, many, many more things that may perhaps trip you up.